With Meet the Buyer, St Helens Chamber of Commerce brings you an exceptional opportunity to get right to the heart of winning more business. I'm Malcom Gallagher of BizVision, proudly working with the business support team at St Helens Chamber to bring you coaching and training to help you win new contracts. In this video, I aim to give you a few insights into how to make it work for you and your business when you go to meet the buyer. 2018 sees my 20th year in presenting Meet the Buyer coaching events. I was there for the very first one, which were at Heathrow Airport. Whilst procurement or purchasing has changed so much since those first events, what hasn't changed is the H to H, or human to human aspects. That's you and the buyer building a good relationship. For those of you new to Meet the Buyer, let's have a quick look at what it is. Put simply, it's the reverse of an exhibition, where you are not on a stand, but the buyer is. It really does get you past that problem of cold calling, and you meet face to face with decision makers. I've proven over the years that about 25% of companies attending Meet the Buyers go on to win business, but only if they follow a few and vital guidelines. Don't go with the intention of selling on the day, but instead follow my upcoming suggestions in what I call Plan to Achieve. Here's my 4-part recipe for success: knowledge, preparation, manage and follow up. And you need all 4 if you plan to achieve. So first off, let's start with the all-important knowledge. And coming up is a great insight: the buyer's 5 hidden agenda. The 5 hidden agenda buying decisions. Now, you are their first decision. Do they like you? Do they think you have integrity and good business judgment? The more they like you, the more they will be willing to buy from you. So your tactic is to let them do the talking and you listen attentively. Your company is next. Is it honest? Is it reliable? What's its reputation? Does it have the capacity to deliver? So here it's vital you give comfort with testimonials, people you already serve, awards that you've won. Next in line comes your product. It's now in the decision fold. Does it fill a genuine need? Do you solve a genuine problem? You need to let them talk so that you can gather information. Now the decision is price, but it's number 4 and not the first. When you quote a price, you want to summarize what they will get for their money and move on to their 5th consideration: value. If you get bogged down in price, you will have lost it. Move to value quickly. Don't be apologetic about your price. Show the value. They may say your price is too high, but they won't sacrifice value for price. So focus on where your true value lies. Keep your mind focused on what they want from you, which is efficiency, cost effectiveness, the quality of your products and services, and really important, reliability. So how will you convincingly show these? A big mistake that many suppliers make is to step outside their limitations. They try to go for business much bigger than they can handle. Remember, your buyer wants to minimize risk. They don't want to take chances. You need to carefully ask yourself how you could handle business, consistently achieving productivity and quality. If you go to work with even a middle-sized company, the infrastructure of electronic billing, delivery procedures, compliance, and financial guarantees may be daunting. However, St Helens Chamber team can help you overcome these challenges, so look for its business support program. Let's have a little look around Housing Association Taurus. Go to the website and make sure that you look along the top, what they do, their team, their policies. Here you see a little video capture of their screen. So scroll down, and on the right hand side you'll see that prominently on the front are all their policies. Now that's a good little tip for you to be thinking about. Putting your compliance policies onto your website and showing their live issues or when they expire. Obviously you can see some good contact details within Taurus. Get to know these so that you're able to ask sensible questions when you're in front of Meet the Buyer. I like to look all over a website to look for their policies, to look for what they're thinking, where they say the work they're doing, how they're recruiting, what they're saying, so that I get beneath the skin of a potential customer. Here's some interesting comments that they're talking about their performance, and obviously they're very keen on their performance, but you can see that there's details and insights into their corporate plan. So take time to study a few of these, because it will help you ask relevant and pertinent questions when you're in front of the buyer. You'll also see their other operations that they've got and the geographical areas that they're working in and which of the various sites they've got, including their goal, which as you can see is to build more than 1,600 affordable new homes over the next 4 years. A very admirable goal. But of course that could mean to you business. So as you can see, I do take my time to scroll around. I look for job opportunities for there. I'm trying to find out who they're recruiting, how they're paying, perhaps some of the vacancies that they've got upcoming. I also like to try and find out the little hidden bits. So procurement, as you can see in the top right hand side, I've input into the search part of their system, and up it comes with information that's not readily available, so you'll have had to search for it, which is why I'm saying take your time. And you can see to the left of the screen there, creating opportunities for local builders. So I want to find out what this means and what they're saying and how approachable they feel that they are. It's quite a recent information that they put in there, and you can see some of the ways that they advertise their purchasing using their DPS or dynamic purchasing system. Now that's a little tip just to be able to talk to the buyer. So tell me more about how DPS works, and suddenly the buyer thinks, this is a supplier that's really interested in us and know more about it. And if you scroll down, you can see that they're in a consortium of 9 housing associations across the north of England. So there's an even bigger opportunity for you to be able to access via the Taurus. So make sure that you take enough time and do it for every Meet the Buyer that you have an appointment with. Make certain that you're getting beneath the skin. You're getting to know the things that are in the public domain, and then what you can do when you're having an interview is to ask for questions of things that are not in the public domain, and you will be seen to be a supplier that is interested in supplying them rather than just winning business. So after knowledge comes preparation, which I personally think equals almost 9/10 of any win. You need to approach any opportunity or any event with the right attitude, manage the time you have with the buyer, use visuals, and leave them with a memorable message about you. So let's be really clear about what we want to achieve in, should we say, the 15 minutes that you'll have with the buyer. It's very unlikely you'll get an order, so the objective is to get an appointment with the person who makes the decision. But you also want to know their buying process, and this is a big personal tip. Asking their process will set you apart from other suppliers. Most buyers complain to me that suppliers don't take enough time to understand the buying company's buying process. So some do's. Have a clear opening statement for your meeting with the buyer. Ask questions and listen. Find out their buying criteria. Find out how their buying process works. Make sure that you sell a few of your benefits and try and get some commitments such as an introduction or follow-up appointments. And importantly, the don'ts. Don't be unprepared. As you've seen, take enough time to understand what they're about, where they're coming from, what they need. Don't talk too much and don't use jargon. Never knock your competition, and when you've got the buyer talking, don't interrupt him or her. Your objectives then are to put them into a positive frame of mind about you and to quickly get to the questioning part. So don't use that meaningless phrase used by so many suppliers who will say to the buyer, "Are you happy with your present supplier?" It's meaningless. Instead, be more professional and use lead-in questions such as, "What has been your experience with? Have you tried? Did you know about? What do you think about the future of?" Ask about efficiency and productivity. Now, here's a great winning tip. Respect their time. Buyers don't want to go home carrying heavy brochures. After all, they may have seen around 20 suppliers that day. Think of what they may have to carry. The solution is to develop the one-page visual sales brief. Join me at a St. Helens Chamber workshop if you want to know how to do it. Managing your time is vital. You have usually only about 15 minutes with the buyer. And believe me, time flies. So these tips are vital. Don't talk too much. The aim should be 80% of them talking and 20% you. Get to the listening part as quickly as possible and ask them probing questions. Tell me, explain, describe. Such as, tell me about your buying process and what you look for in a preferred supplier. In managing your time, make sure you take a breather and make notes between visits with buyers. Also make connections with fellow suppliers that are there. Collaboration or bidding together can often come from it. And now for the fourth and final element, the follow-up. It's the biggest failing by suppliers. Make sure you follow up, but be creative about it. Try to bridge the gap by linking what you've talked about, such as you expressed interest in knowing more about how we make. What extra added value points do you want to get across or to reinforce? So here's my quick summary of plan to achieve key points. Make sure you take time to prepare and know the questions you want to ask. Set some goals for the event so you can measure success. Rehearse timings. You'll be surprised how quickly time flies. And don't forget the all-important follow-up. And don't give up. You are good at what you do, so be persistent. St. Helens Chamber is bringing you some great support to help you win this exciting new business. The Chamber's team of business advisors are waiting to help you, and there's free one-to-one coaching. I'm also presenting 3 events to help you gain valuable insights, such as the 2nd of February, Get the Most from Meet the Buyer, the 17th of March, Winning Business from Big Business, and the 27th of June, Writing a Winning Tender. See the separate video for more information. I wish you all the success with Meet the Buyer. Take the time to plan and you will achieve. Thanks for watching.